Namaste, beautiful beings. This is Belinda Pearl, and welcome to the Celestial Channeling and Cosmic Consciousness, Oracular Consciousness. So, we're right before this new moon Virgo. And really, what does that mean? We've also actually just entered, Sun has entered Virgo, all from a Western perspective. And so, Virgo is really the beginning of us stepping into our true feminine, divine feminine self. So there's an invitation for you to really look inside of you and find you, especially that feminine component of who you are. Virgo energy is very much the practical one, likes to make lists, get things done, and loves to be of service. I think last week I spoke about being of service, stepping into your true Dharma, that which calls you to be here on earth, that has called you to be here on earth. So are you ready to do that? Are you truly ready to step into this space of service? And how can you be of most service in the world? Can we let go of those sort of erratic ideas that spin us off in all many directions? What is the peace that your heart has always called you to? Not the world has told you that you should do or trying to stick you in that box. But how can you shake all of that off? Literally, shake it off. If somebody's told you you need to do this and do it that way, shake that off and come back to you. Who are you? And the image that I'm getting actually is beautiful. It's about being outside in this beautiful garden. And for me, when I do meditations a lot, I see nature in my meditations because nature is very healing. And this is very also Virgo, Gaia type of energy. She wants you to be outside in nature. Virgos, my mother, Virgo, loves to garden, is always in the garden and is always surrounded by many, many animals. So why not be in that beautiful garden? But what I am seeing is this beautiful garden with green, green, and the grass is so green and so thick, it's almost like satin, like little ribbons of satin. And in the middle of this garden is this beautiful tall tree. The trunk of the tree is like this chocolatey brown. It has beautiful soft texture to it. The leaves on it are perfectly shaped and also this sort of emerald green. And then there's beautiful blossoms, red blossoms. It actually looks like it could be a rose tree, even though there's maybe not a rose tree, but it looks like roses that are on the tree, like beautiful red roses, and they're all open. And what it feels like is this divine feminine energy that is sprouting and is blossoming not only here in this moment, but blossoming inside of the world, blossoming inside of you. And it feels like what the tree symbolizes. There's this need, this necessary essence of being rooted. That's when a tree can grow and blossom so beautifully. Its roots grow so deep into the soils and knows exactly where to go for water, for nutrients. And that beautiful, strong trunk, it gives us the stability to grow tall towards the sky. And this trunk that it shows us is unharmed. There's no sort of branches cut off it. It's beautiful. It's this perfect shape. And it's this energy of seeing you, this energy of seeing you as perfect in this perfect way. How do you see yourself on a daily basis? What's that imagery that you bring to mind when you look at yourself? And even now, in this moment, how do you see yourself? This trunk of this tree is strong. It may have weathered a lot, but it doesn't even show the scars of what it's weathered. Written within its circles, if you did cut the tree, you'd see the lifelines, if you will. And each one reflect, know, have, carry this memory, carry this wisdom, those are the words, carries this sort of wisdom memory, this knowledge that it's gathered through all of its lifetimes. And lifetimes can be new incarnations, but we can also live lifetimes in this lifetime if you think back at all the lifetimes you've lived. And maybe if they've been tumultuous in some way, there is a memory, a wisdom that you have gathered along the way. So what is the wisdoms that you've been gathering? And if we look at this tree and it reaches towards the sky, it shows us its branches, strong branches to reach in every direction, all the paths we've lived, all the ways we've lived. and also our multitudes of talents. We're not just one thing defines us. Maybe you've always wanted to be a painter and a chef. Maybe you like to do computer programming, but at the same time you love to write creative writing. We're not one thing that defines us. We a multifaceted being. We're a multi-dimensional being. These are all dimensions of yourself, these branches that reach out in all directions. Can you sense that within you? Can you sense the ways of your way, of who you are? And then the tree shows these perfect green, emerald green leaves. They're so perfect, they almost seem like they've been replicated somewhere, drawn up perfectly. But it shows within inside of us, we have these pieces of ourself that are perfect in its own way. Now, as we look a little bit closer, it's almost like we're zooming into the leaf. And these leaves remind me of your cells in your body, that your cell is created in the most perfect way. Such a miracle. It shows these tiny little channels of light that travel through the leaves. And all those messages, those memories, those wisdoms that you carry are deep within inside of you. But it's recreating this place of perfection. I like to use the words perfectly imperfect. So however we are is perfect because we're perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect in every way. But we have this opportunity to recreate from this imperfect, perfect form. We have this ability to recreate that which we are, the miracle that we are. So showing all the leaves that covered this beautiful tree. And there's so many leaves you can't even see inside the tree. It's all the lessons that we've learned, but we've managed to bring them out and show them as these tiny miracles of what we are. And now we're starting to see those red, what seems like roses, these beautiful red flowers blossoming. And they're so full of these red, soft petals, like satin soft petals. And what I'm seeing, and maybe it's like you can smell this because it's actually seen the fragrance moving from the flower into the air. So as you're breathing in, it's almost sharing with you the story of who you are. Again, reminding you of who you are. Aroma, smell, really connects to memories. So what are you remembering about you that your soul has almost like painted upon you? These perfect roses that's showing you what your soul has shared with you, that your soul has chosen for you. And again, this picture is so beautiful. It's like you are in this divine form, this beautiful tree, rooted, grounded, a strong trunk with all the wisdom that you've gathered through every life, and still this ability to reach in every direction. And from what you are, you can start to show the true beauty that's locked within you, these perfect leaves that continue to replicate throughout you, that show you your pure essence, and then revealing these buds, they like to call them joy, these buds of pure joy, these buds of pure love. So maybe you can see this in your mind, maybe you can sense it. Maybe as you breathe it in, that rich floral aroma. And as you breathe it in, there's a memory. There's a memory here of remembering your soul. And it feels like almost an embrace of that sweet aroma, the embrace of your soul. So feel that embrace, that holding you, holding this place of being perfect, perfectly imperfect, but knowing that everything that you've learned along the way, every experience has shaped you into this form. And what you replicate out into the world is beauty by just being here, by just being present, by just being yourself. And knowing that everything that you've learned is part of you, is part of your soul's story. So I'm going to leave you with that and hope in every way that you recognize, that you see, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see yourself as this perfect blossoming tree And even if we don't have roses growing on trees like that, you can make your tree into anything that you wish it to be. So be that which you wish to be. Take everything you've learned and bring it out imperfectly perfect into the world, or perfectly imperfect into the world, however you are, however you wish to express into the world. So from my heart to yours, may you be a perfect expression of your divine soul. Namaste. And again, this is Belinda Pearl. You can find me at belindapearl.com. Make sure you subscribe and say hello. Namaste.